Welcome to the End Goal Podcast. My name is Arish, and this podcast is a chronicle of my life successes, failures, and lessons as I work towards my end goal. Here, I share stories of my life and those in my circle as we work towards our goals daily. In each episode, I hope to bring you lessons and questions that you can apply to your life and to your goals. I greatly appreciate your presence here, and I hope we can create something genuine through this podcast. Please enjoy today's episode. What's really good, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the End Goal Podcast. Today might be a shorter one. I don't know. I'm scrunched for time. So before this lift comes, let's get to talking. A couple of life updates. I'm still working on my two projects. Last week, you might have seen, if you watched the thing, you might have seen a hint at what's new. But if you go over to my Instagram at Intro Archives, you'll see something new that I've been working on, and it's a style of video it's a style of edit, it's a style of video that I really like. I got inspired by Suraj Saxena on TikTok and his style, and I want to do the same, but switch it up for myself. And I'm super excited. I'm addicted to the 3 edits that I made, and I want to make more. I'm just like trying to stop myself, but high key, I just want to make a ton more. So as I get more and more items, I'm hoping to make more and more edits and things like that once I'm back from this trip that I'm about to take. But it was super exciting. I was addicted to them. Like, I was in my editing bag a couple of nights, about a week ago, and really just I found something fun. So I wanted to like let myself be obsessed with it as much as possible just for now, because I don't allow myself to be obsessed with much, if anything. Um, but that's all the hush hush for that. I also sent it to people, and they're like, "This is dope," and I was like, "Thank God, people actually like it." So that was also fun. Um, Aside from that, getting into our hidden genius topic of the week, I wanted to talk about one of these um, interesting insights that I found. This one actually talks about combating loneliness. And the line from the book says, "Our culture sends contradictory messages because it doesn't understand or doesn't know the difference between solitude and loneliness. There's a big difference between objective isolation and perceived isolation is loneliness." And it basically talks about how you can be alone but not feel lonely because you're with yourself. Maybe you have a good relationship with the people around you. You're just alone. Objectively, you have nobody around you at that time, maybe because you chose to be alone, but you don't feel alone because you know you have loving, like a loving environment around you of people that you could go reach out to if you wanted to. But if you perceive yourself as, I don't have anybody to go to, I don't have anybody to reach out to, I don't have anybody to see, then you perceive yourself as lonely, and that is the difference between loneliness and solitude. Um, and I liked that a lot because a lot of the times what happens is that we get stuck on social media, we get stuck on what everybody else is doing, and we don't focus on ourselves. So we feel like we're not progressing in life. Everybody else is doing so well, and then we feel like we're the only ones in this place. We feel super alone. We feel super detached from people. We we feel very um, emotionally just cut off, even if like you live with roommates or you go to work or you don't have like a good relationship with anybody, so you feel emotionally cut off from people, and that's loneliness. um, and I like that she put that in the book because it does affect how we learn, it affects how we behave, it affects how we pursue our goals, it affects how we um, talk to other people and treat other people. um, I didn't say that right. So I wanted to ask you guys, how often do you actually truly feel lonely versus just being alone and isolated for a short period of time? Just something for you guys to think about. It's something that I pop into my head every now and then just to like check like how am I feeling, how am I doing, etc. Hey friends, I just wanted to take a quick break in this episode to tell you guys about an amazing tool that I've been using to help shift my perspective on my life and my goals. This isn't sponsored, by the way, but I just really like the item and the product, and I wanted to share it with you guys. So my question to you is, are you looking for a new perspective on life? Or are you looking for a new way to get motivated to get after your goals every day? So the My Life in Weeks poster is an interesting visual representation of the average lifespan. The shaded part is every week that I've lived thus far in my life, and the open, unshaded squares are the weeks that I have left to live up until my expected passing of around age 88 is kind of the expected just average span. The reason why I like this poster and why I don't think it's as morbid as it sounds is because it gave me a new perspective on how to view my life. If you look at the poster a little bit more closely, years 0 through 23 were just the years of education in my life in my infant phase, right? I wasn't really doing anything with my life until I graduated and I started working at age 23. So starting from age 23 and up until age 25, which I am right now, I really only started my life for 3 years, which means I'm just in the infant phase of my life now once again, and I have time to learn new things, try new things, and do new things. And I have so much more time left than I thought I had. I don't feel like I wasted 20 years of my life in a sense. I really just started 3 years ago. So that's how I view my life, is I'm just starting and I have so much more to do. If you're interested in getting a My Life in Weeks poster, check out the link in the video show notes and use code ENTRO at checkout to get 5% off your entire order. Once again, I want to reiterate, this isn't necessarily a sponsored segment. This episode is not sponsored, but it is just a product that I really enjoy, and I have the opportunity to be affiliated with this company to bring you guys this cool new tool, and I just really like it, and I thought maybe you guys would like it too. That being said, the topic of today's episode, it's an interesting one. This was probably one of the first life realizations that I had. It's the topic of opportunity cost. And if you don't know what opportunity cost is that which you're giving up to do something else. So for an example, me taking the 30 to 40 minutes to record this episode is what I'm doing. So the opportunity cost of me recording this episode is now that I'm not able to read for 30 to 40 minutes in this span of time. Me waking up early in the morning to go for a walk is what I'm doing, but the opportunity cost to that is I don't get to sleep in. So it's that which you're giving up in order to do what you're doing. And opportunity cost is literally everywhere in our daily lives. I first learned this concept through business school, because they talk about opportunity cost all the time in terms of giving up cost for efficiency, or giving up efficiency for cost, and focusing on and maybe giving up cost for increased productivity, or giving up cost for increased or giving up reduced cost for increased employee benefits, or whatever it is, right? There's always a cost to whatever you're doing, or whatever the opportunity you're pursuing. So what I like about that phrase is always understanding that I'm choosing to do one thing and I'm giving up something else. So I always understand that whatever I'm doing, I'm giving up something else for it, right? I'm not just doing something out of for free, or I'm not doing something with nothing else available to me. And for some reason, I like that. I like that that way of thinking, because it really just it helps me realize and stay grounded in terms of you're always giving something up. So understand what you're actually giving up and what you're willing to give up. I rarely am willing to give up sleep. There's very few things for which my opportunity cost is sleep. One of those things is K-dramas, because for the past 2 nights I've been up past 1, 2 a.m. just watching K-dramas. But there's and sometimes editing, sometimes reading, but very few things is my opportunity cost of sleep. That being said, there's a lot of things that I have an opportunity cost for because I'm sleeping, right? I don't work as late at night because I want to sleep. I don't stay up and read or talk to people or see people or get online or whatever it is because it's late. I want to go to bed and I want to sleep. So when it comes to kind of what you choose to do, my first lesson that I learned one of the first lessons I learned in life was there's always an opportunity cost of what you're doing, and understand what that is. And then you can start actually creating your own opportunity costs, right? Because the way I see it is, yes, everything's an opportunity cost if you were actually going to do it. That's kind of how that's like the next layer of what hit me a year or so ago. And it was, I'm not ever going to go to a club. I'm not going to go to a party. I'm not going to go swimming. Like there's a lot of things that I'm really not going to do in life. And so whenever maybe people invite me out or whatever it is, but I choose to do something else, me not going out and seeing people was not an opportunity cost for me because it's not something that I generally even do or even like want to do. But when I do end up saying like, hey, I'm gonna go dance with my homies today, I'm gonna go just hang out with the homies and chill today, the opportunity cost for that might be, well, I don't get to stay home and do my chores, or I don't get to stay home and actually work on these projects, or I don't get to stay home and record or edit or whatever it is. There's always an opportunity cost to it. So I always want to ask you guys, do you know what your opportunity costs for what you're doing? Do you know what your opportunity cost is for the specific things you're doing in life, and do you agree with the opportunity cost, or do you want to change it? Personally, for me, I think about everything in terms of generally I have a full day to do something. My opportunity cost for working a 9 to 5 is that I can't do anything else except work that 9 to 5 in that time frame. And as a result, in the evenings, I have a couple of options, right? I chill or I get to work. And the opportunity cost of chilling is I don't get work done. What's work for me? Editing, content, recording, planning, scripting, anything else. So every now and then I'll catch myself thinking, okay, like yesterday or Sunday, when the last podcast episode went up, I had a whole plan to like get chores done, get my packing done, get another episode recorded and everything, because I knew that I was going to have to fly out later on in the week and I won't have time to record at the end of the week before the podcast needs to get out the following Sunday. I woke up at a certain time, clicked on a K-drama, and I watched that thing from 9 a.m. past midnight. That I literally did nothing that day. I did nothing that day except for watch TV, basically, on my bed or on my couch, and I just ate food. That's all I did. So I understood that my opportunity cost there was, you're not going to get anything done. But very, very early on in that day, I told myself, I was like, you know what? I'm not going to get anything done today. That's fine. I'm fine with that. I will make it up later in the week, but I might need this day to just do nothing, because the rest of the week is going to be hectic. It's going to be chaotic. It's going to be a lot. Let me just give myself this for my mental and physical state. And that was that. So it's not a long topic that I can talk to you guys about. I would love to get somebody on here and give me their thoughts of opportunity cost and how they view it, and if they actually view actions in their life as having an opportunity cost. I hope you guys got something from this. I hope it made sense, and if it didn't, let me know, and I will explain it again. But that's basically the podcast episode. Short one. Like I said, I'm crunched for time, and I wanted to get this. I want to talk to you guys about this. It's not a long topic anyway, so I'm not really too worried about it. But I hope you guys have a great rest of your week, a great rest of your day whenever you're listening to this. I hope you are slowly and surely working towards your goals every day. If you are, love you. If you're not, don't worry. You'll get there. We all have our own timeline. Do not compare yourself to anybody else's timeline. You have your own, and yours just might be longer than somebody else's. Respect it, accept it, embrace it, and then you will fully succeed, and you'll be completely fine. I'll talk to you guys next week for the last episode of the season, and I hope to bring you guys a fun one with that. So I'll talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.